everybody, it's your girl Courtney Simone. I am here with Aaron Sinclair, the owner of Signature Barber Suites here in Temple Hills, Maryland. So Aaron, thank you so much for just taking the time to sit with us.
I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about you and your story and how you got started?
So I am a professionally licensed barber, a master barber. I've been cutting hair now, professionally licensed, for 13 years. I got started when I was really young. I started just cutting hair, experimenting with the clippers when I was 13 years old. My dad used to be a barber, and I would watch him cut my younger siblings after I got my hair cut, and that's when my initial interest started. And when I got to high school, I went to Crossland High School in Temple Hills, and that school has a barbering program that you can go through and become professionally licensed upon successful completion of your barbering exam.
Nice.
That course takes 2 years, so you matriculate through the course for 11th and 12th grade. And to this day, that was my favorite class I've taken in high school. I absolutely loved it. I had a phenomenal barbering instructor. He's still my mentor to this day. And he was the one that really helped to hone my skills and really lock in on not just how to cut hair, but the full gambit of barbering and what it takes to work in a barbershop and be a successful professional licensed barber.
Awesome. That's actually really unique. Thank you for sharing this story with us. So tell us a little bit about how this got started. How did the Signature Barber Suites get started?
So this design concept came after I had a suite in someone else's shop.
Okay.
It was my first time ever having a private suite. I didn't know that that was something that barbers did, or
I didn't know that either, so I came in here. So.
Yeah, and it works. So after being in that suite, I realized the vast differences between having a private suite to yourself and working in a more traditional open style barbershop. When you work in a more traditional style open barbershop, you have a lot of people, you have a lot of personalities, and you have a lot of movement and action that goes on at one time.
Right.
Some of which is very conducive to the services that a person is trying to render, some not so much. As I got further and further into my career and I wanted to take a more individualized approach to grooming, I found that the suite concept works much better for me and other hair care professionals.
Gotcha.
With the suites, you're literally a one-man or one-woman barbershop. And in doing that, you're in complete control of your ambiance, your aesthetics, your music, your mood, and your services.
Right.
The service component was the most important part to me, because being in a suite, you're able to implement certain services that you can't implement in a traditional style barbershop.
So what are some services that you offer here that you might not find at a traditional barbershop?
So I have 2 signature services that I offer, and because of the environment that I work in, it's a lot easier to implement those services, one of which is a bald head exfoliation service, which is essentially a facial for the scalp. And all of my bald clients who get this service love it because it's really great for moisturizing, it's really great for exfoliation, and it calls for me to use an ozone vaporizer, which is one of the big facial steamers that you see blowing the steam on people's face. Because of that style of equipment in a traditional style barbershop, you may not be able to use that because you've got a lot of people in your work area, and the equipment has to be situated a certain way. Or if I'm trying to implement a facial service, whereas I have to use the ozone vaporizer again, facial is designed to be therapeutic, relaxing services. But in a traditional style shop where you may have a lot of people talking at the same time, you may have a lot of different conversations, video game, things on the TV, it's hard to kind of infuse that relaxation part of the facial service in a traditional style shop because that peacefulness that you need just isn't there.
Gotcha. So anyone that's looking to get the exfoliation bald service, make sure you hit them up.
This is the place. So this is the waiting area when you come into the shop where you can just wait for your barber for a minute, watch television, you may have to charge your phone before you go into said suite. And this is my suite right here where I render all of my services at. first things that people notice when they come into my suite is how it's designed from an aesthetic and ergonomic standpoint. I position all of my tools in a very, very convenient way so that I don't have to move my feet. That way I can stay right here on my mat and I can grab everything I need right within an arm's reach. Hence why you'll see tools on the sides of me instead of in the back, because my arms are on the sides of my body, even to these tools right up above my head. I can grab everything that I need right here, just within an arm's reach, and continue rendering my services without having to keep turning around.
Okay. So could you just tell people what you want clients to experience or feel once leaving your shop?
Once they leave here, I want clients and customers alike to understand that there's more to barbering than just haircuts. There's more to barbering than just shape-ups. And in rendering different services that feel different, your experience can feel different. There's a wide array of ways to experience your barber or barbering services. And it doesn't just have to be in the traditional manner that a lot of us are used to.
Aaron, what is your favorite haircut to do?
That's a good question. I gotta think about that for a second. Favorite haircuts? It would be a bald fade or a skin taper. That's when someone has more hair on the top and it gradually gets lighter and lighter as it goes down to the sides of the head over above the ears. I think that's my favorite haircut because to me that's the true test of how well somebody understands cutting hair. I'm not really wildly impressed by like super defined shape ups and stuff like that. Although it is important, you'll see a lot of barbers who can get a shape up really sharp, but it's usually not as balanced and straight as it could be. But if a barber can blend really well, that's the measure of how good somebody can cut hair, and that's probably the reason why that's my favorite haircut.
Awesome. And what is your favorite thing about being a business owner?
Oh man, you really making me think today. I honestly think the favorite thing or part of being a business owner for me is the feeling of accomplishment. I've learned in life there are few feelings that feel better than accomplishment. And the reason why I say that for me is because there was a very specific date and time that I wrote down on my goals list in 2017 to open up a business in 2018. When I did that, I had no idea how it was going to happen, when, where. And now that I'm here in my business as a business owner, that's become my favorite part, the accomplishment of it all.
So thinking about 2019, what are some of the goals that you're looking to accomplish with your business or personal life?
I answer both. Within my business, I want to continue to grow and expand the business brand as much as possible so that people can understand, like, wow, again, there are more options to barbering and barbers than just the traditional style barbershop. And in my personal life, I want to just continue to be at peace and be happy. This is my happy place. This is my happy hour. This is my bowling alley, my casino, my bar. It's in here cutting hair. I want to continue to make that peace and happiness the center of my life and just go from there. That's it.
That's a really good point. So what would you tell other business owners or just individuals who have a lot going on and de-stressing? How do you kind of de-stress? Because being a business owner is hard.
It is. It's very important to take time for yourself and understand that it's no fun making all the money in the world if you don't have time to spend some of it and enjoy some of your time. Your time is the most valuable commodity, and make sure you put your health in the forefront of your mind, not just your physical health, your mental, spiritual, and emotional health, because this can be very taxing, it can be very draining, and when you really do love what you do and you're passionate about it, it's hard to pull away from that sometimes. But understand, you have to take time away to decompress and take time for you. That is of the utmost importance.
Health before wealth.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly.
And then another question. What are some tips that you would give young entrepreneurs who are thinking about either going into the barber industry or starting their own company themselves?
Anybody that's thinking about going into entrepreneurial ventures, it's normal to be scared. It's normal to be scared, to have a healthy fear, but you got to remember you can't let that fear consume you, because if you let it consume you, it will paralyze you and it will keep you right there staring at your goals list with no action. And then sometimes it's a risk. It can be risky, but think about it like this. If you're willing to take a risk on anyone, why not take a risk on yourself? If I'm going to bet on somebody, it's going to be on me. I'm in complete control of the outcome. So to me, it's worth the risk to bet on me use that healthy fear as motivation, and just go hard. It sounds cliche, but if you follow your heart, everything else is going to find you. Money, clients, customers, whatever the case may be, is going to find you. Take a risk for yourself and just go hard with it.
So, Aaron, where can people find you if they're looking to either get in contact with you, get their hair cut? What's your information?
The best way to reach me is through my social media platforms. My Instagram will take you to my style sheet. That's the best way to get to either one of those. My Instagram is Sinclair Grooming, all one word, SINCLAIR Grooming. And if you need to get to my style sheet, there's a link in my bio, and there's a book button that takes you directly to my style sheet link. Those are the best and quickest ways to reach me.
Perfect. And what are some final words that you have for people out there?
Final words. Again, you have to follow your heart. You have to, because you only get one life. There's no, I'm going to do this next lifetime and do it better. Why continue to go hard for somebody else's dream and fuel their passion when you can put that same time and energy into yourself? You owe it to yourself, because you can't do it again next lifetime.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Aaron. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Very welcome. I appreciate you coming out and talking to me.
And we will see you all next time.
Yep.